For many people, old school money is the only way to go. Cash and even credit and debit seems normal, while a lot of people look at cryptocurrency like it's the crazy fourth cousin at the family reunion. To many, it doesn't make any sense why people would use crypto, a digital currency with no physical attributes. And to be honest, though I understood the draw on a basic level, I didn't see the real life benefit of crypto until two major world events occurred: the Freedom Convoy in Canada and the war between Russia and Ukraine. In today's video, we'll look at how cryptocurrency has completely changed the game when it comes to funding movements, and its impact on the control you have of the money you make. Let's get into it. In January of 2022, the famed Freedom Convoy of Canadian truckers made their way across the country to the capital of Ottawa. It started because while a reported 90% of Canadian truckers were vaccinated, many of the workers in the industry were protesting the vaccine mandates for truckers. So they set up blockades and occupied streets in Ottawa. Due to the loss in trade it was causing between the United States and Canada, the government's response was freezing assets of protest organizers in order to keep funds from sustaining the protests. GoFundMe even suspended a campaign that had raised over $8 million for the Freedom Convoy. So organizers turned their attention to something that's not governed by a centralized authority: cryptocurrency, and in a short time raised over $1 million Canadian in order to support the protests. With Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Ukraine's government has actually solicited donations of cryptocurrency in order to help with all things with the war. Crypto can move necessary funds across international borders far easier than traditional means. Something that CNBC proved in an article they posted 3 days ago, where they actually sent money via the Bitcoin Lightning Network, all the way from Miami to a Ukrainian refugee in Poland in 3 minutes with minimal transfer fees. And that Bitcoin was able to be withdrawn in local currency at a Bitcoin ATM. Clearly there's an advantage to the digital nature of crypto, and there's less red tape while maintaining a high level of security through the transfer. Turns out crypto has allowed Ukraine to raise more than $54 million in support of Ukraine's defenses and the relief effort. Cryptocurrency has, in the words of NBC, a history of libertarian ideals embedded within the community. Its point is to have a system of currency that's unregulated and decentralized. And this is done by allowing only the owner access to the cryptocurrency with the use of a private key. So while a Canadian judge ordered certain crypto wallets to be frozen in connection with the protests, the Canadian government had a difficult time doing so because private keys are only known by their owners, and a crypto wallet's owner isn't always known either. Nunchuk is a company that provides self-custodial crypto wallets for users. That's one method of storing a private key. But Nunchuk doesn't have user information or access to the private keys. They literally make the wallet, which is why when pushed by the Canadian government to freeze crypto assets, they responded, "We do not hold any keys. Therefore, we cannot freeze our users' assets. We cannot prevent them from being moved. We do not have knowledge of the existence, nature, value, and location of the user's assets. This is by design." In a very simplified way, it's like the government asking the maker of my wallet to give them my money. And they're like, "What? You think we have access to his money? We literally just made the wallet. We don't even know who owns the wallet." This has completely changed how money is handled, because with crypto being decentralized, there's no way for the government to coerce a regulated company into handing over funds, unless it's held by someone like Robinhood. I have $30 of Bitcoin in my Robinhood account, but it's treated more like owning a stock than anything else. Robinhood owns access to the private key, so if the government wanted to seize my $30 of Bitcoin, they could, along with the equivalent happiness $30 of chocolate milk could bring. No! Sad, right? And why is this important? Because whether you agree with the protests or not, we learned from the Freedom Convoy that governments can just freeze your assets if you're doing something that they disagree with. Crypto changes that by putting control of your money with you instead of a government or a centralized authority. That is, if it's purchased through the correct means. So do your research before purchasing crypto yourself, because it does matter how you purchase it. In the case of Ukraine, crypto is changing the nature of international economics by actually providing money transfer with very low fees across international borders, and quickly, as seen by the CNBC transfer I had mentioned earlier. The question is, what's going to happen next with crypto? Governments, including the US and obviously Canada, are looking for ways that they can regulate cryptocurrency. It can partially be regulated by centralized crypto exchanges like Coinbase and Crypto.com. According to CoinDesk, while the authorities cannot veto transactions on Bitcoin and similar networks, they have leverage over regulated companies that serve as the on and off ramps to those networks. And there's a lot of argument for why crypto should be regulated. According to Time, crypto regulation can, 1, provide more stability in the market since crypto is notoriously volatile. 2, increase investor protection, and 3, create a safer crypto ecosystem overall. And I see where the argument for regulating cryptocurrency comes from. The points they make are legitimate points. From my point of view, there are pros and cons as there are with most things, especially anything financially related. In a world where our adoption of crypto in the US has more than doubled from 2020 to 2021, I can see how regulating something that's growing exponentially could protect investors in crypto. But crypto was really created in order to provide some sort of economic value apart from a centralized authority, protecting the people from totalitarian leaders, especially as the world becomes more cashless. Think back to the last time you played Oregon Trail. Personally, it's been about 8 months for me. For those unfamiliar with the game, you're attempting to keep your family alive while you're on the road out west by hunting, gathering, and dealing with all kinds of sickness and snake bites. Well, in the game, even though there is money, commodities are a major source of economic trade. If you need fur pelts in order to protect your wagon while you're fording the river, you might have to trade some meat or maybe some ammunition with a local. Back then, much of your cash was what you physically had in your possession. Then it became much more normal for people to use coins and bills to purchase things. We could trade it for goods and services because other people agreed that it had value. Now we use credit cards and debit cards to transact, almost making hard cash a thing of the past. Something you don't even have to see as it's magically dumped into your account every 2 weeks. And vice versa, it gets taken out with every swipe. And with it, the ability to lose access to your funds because someone in authority says you can't have it. Sure, commodities were easier to steal or spoil or lose, but you had full control over it. So my question to you is this: where do you see the crypto industry going? And would you rather have some regulation to protect you or keep full control regardless of the risks? I'd be curious to hear what you think in the comments down below. Now, if you found this video informational or valuable in any way, then give it a like because it really helps my channel. If you'd like to stay up to date on finance news, budget hacks, and tools to help you master your money, hit the subscribe button down below and let me know what you're most interested in learning when it comes to your money. And if you'd like to see a video I made about the recent impact of inflation and interest on your wallet, then check out this video up here. And if you'd like to see another one of my videos, then you can check out this video down here.